As a homeschool mom of a 12-year-old and a 9-year-old, I have noticed a shift in our morning time as my kids have gotten older and are in upper elementary and middle school. And I've tried to respond to that shift by customizing our morning time and making some slight modifications just based on our family culture as well as the curricula that we have chosen. Today, as part of this morning time video homeschool show and tell collaboration with Jessica from the Waldock Way and Abby from Rooted in Rest, I wanted to share what we do for morning school at this point. But I wanted to kind of put a twist on it. So one of the changes for our family is that we are able to travel more now that we have a camper. And it means that with the requirements in our state for a certain amount of homeschool days a year, when we travel, can't just not do bookwork. We need to bring in some of that bookwork in conjunction with what we are experiencing at national parks and other experiences. And so I wanted to share what it is that we take when we travel and trying to keep things light because we do have a 26-foot camper, so we can't bring all of the books, but just kind of sharing what it is that we bring for our main subjects and then what we will kind of supplement in. So the first thing is we always do our math. And so for us, that means bringing pretty big, bulky math books because we use Math-U-See. Math-U-See does have a digital option, but we just use the student workbooks, and we will also bring the manuals that have the answer key, and that will take up most of the space, frankly, in our school crate. The second thing that is a subject that we hit every day that we do for school, and that is language arts. And so instead of bringing all of the parts and pieces to our The Good and the Beautiful language arts, for my oldest, she actually supplements the Good and the Beautiful language arts level 7 with some Brave Writer classes. And so she will do her arrow exercises and join in her Brave Writer classes, which you can access anywhere that you have internet. So she can focus on that while we travel. And then my youngest is in level 4 for the Good and the Beautiful, and so he brings his spelling and writing workshop rather than all of his language arts pieces. And so those are enough for us to be able to do language arts, but not feeling like we're bringing all of this bulky workbooks. I also like to bring geography, and so we have these Draw the World notebooks that just make geography really fun and pretty easy. I will just bring what we've worked on so far. We have these like fold up maps that my kids have created, and we'll bring this in the book and with a paper mate be able to draw and work on geography as well. And then the second part to this is, so my kids are pretty independent with getting started on math and language arts, but we do like to still do morning time meeting together. The first thing is that we do some Bible reading, and so since we're traveling, I just try to hit both their Bible time and my Bible time with the same resource. At this point, I'm studying John with a friend of mine, and so while I will not read all of the commentary, we can read the Bible verses, and we actually are working on memorizing some verses in John, and so this will be helpful to have as we're working on our memory verse as well as being in the Word each day. And then I also have a couple books for just morning time critical thinking, and this is fun for the whole family. So this is the Great Book of Math Teasers. My son found this in our library bookstore, and so we picked this up. And then I also have 30 Days Has September, Cool Ways to Remember Stuff. And this just has mnemonic devices that help you to remember certain things. Like it has a little ditty for the continents and how to remember all the oceans. And there's science and history and math and grammar. And so this is just a good book to bring for drills and to go over together to start off our morning time meeting. We also will have a read aloud, and so right now that is by The Great Horn Spoon by Sid Fleischman. This is hitting 1849 and the California Gold Rush. I have not read it, but it gets really good reviews, and so we will do this read aloud. And while I'm doing a read aloud, we will get out our mixed media notebooks that we use for our nature study. We really want to mimic The Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady by Edith Holden, where she has, for each month, she's got different notes that she's taken for each day, poems, things that she's noticed. It has beautiful artwork that is based on the seasons. And so our desire with our mixed media notebook is that we are able to replicate this in our notebooks. And so we take our pack of watercolor pencils, we bring also paper mates as well in case we want thin markers. We have micro lines as well for outlining things. And so try to just bring a small amount of art supplies that can go along with this so that we can just sit outside, listen to our book, and do some nature journaling. And then last, we just bring some books. So I have 2 for each child. So again, since we're doing Oregon Trail and the Gold Rush and the mid-1800s in the United States history, I just have Dear Levi by Elvira Woodruff and also Patty Reed's Doll by Rachel Largard. I also have Mr. Tucket by Gary Paulson and The Ballad of Lucy Whipple by Karen Cushman. My kids will not necessarily finish all of these, but at least have different options in addition to the fun books that they will bring to just read when the weather is nice and they want to be outside for quiet time. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to watch the other videos that are in the playlist. I will link everything below. Until next time.